Durag Diaries breaking news, and Tottenham have a here we go on a centre back. KD, man like Kevin DANSO, is on his way to Spurs with a loan and obligation to buy in the summer of 25 million euros. And it's looking like a good one. Now, this centre back has been called an aggressive, good depth option for Tottenham. Now, there has been questions of whether he can come into that first team lineup and have an instant impact. Some people have more thought of his role as being a backup or, as say, depth centre back, but he's going to play a key role in the second half of the season, with Radu Dragusin now confirmed as being out for the majority of the remaining season. I think one of the key things that you can look at for this signing is apparently Spurs have failed up. Spurs have somehow failed up, because we were looking at the Sassy, we were looking at Tomori, and then we apparently I'm hearing we put a £55 million bid in for Mark Gahey. But then the fallout has happened that we've ended up with Kevin DANSO. Now, DANSO has been a player that Spurs have supposedly been looking at for most of this month. And one of the reasons why was due to him being a great fit within the system. But the reason why they didn't actually kick off the deal was because they wanted to hassle over 3 to 4 million. They saw Wolves had now agreed a fee at 25 million euros, and he was on his way. He was going to have a medical at Wolves, and Spurs made that last minute call. He said, if we match that offer, will you accept? You know, Lens, at that point, they're like, I don't care. And then DANSO, yeah, I'm on my way to Spurs. At Spurs, the literally announcement video came out literally a few hours after the hijack was supposedly happened. So look, he's a right-sided, front-footed defender, very aggressive, but he can cover both depth and width while being excellent on the ball. That's the one thing I've been pointing out, that when it comes to on-the-ball play, he's supposed to be really, really good. And I suppose, look, when you look at our system and the way that we set up against a lot of teams, that high line, he's played it. He's playing in a new role this season in comparison to last year and the last few years at Lons, with Will still coming in, implementing a high line system where it's very aggressive for the centre backs, very similar to Andrew in that sense, where they're going to press high, they're going to get on one-to-one man marking system with their centre backs. And look, he's been thriving in that position so far this year. He's been a consistent performer for them across at least the last 2 to 3 seasons. And famously, he was a part of that win just last year at Champions League when Lens beat Arsenal in the group stage. I think one of the key things when you got to look at this deal, and one of the things I'm happy about, and is that we've got a right-sided centre-back, for one, that can really play in our system. I think it's been clear to see the role profile of Dragusin and his profile in general. He was misprofiled completely. He's not made to fit in this system. His ball-playing ability is very poor on the ball. And I think he was just made to play in a back three. DANSO has played in a back three, but is definitely more suited to the back two due to his capable of defending across large spaces. He's pretty quick as well for a defender. So when you're looking at a Van de Ven replacement, or you're looking at someone that's similar to Van de Ven playing on the other side, they can cover a lot of ground. And also, he's really good in the air. He's strong in his aerial and ground duels. So look, this is going to be a good signing for Spurs. I am questioning, was Spurs just looking for a P&P specialist, a black centre-back at this point? Because I just have to say, when you go from the Sassy to Tomori, to Gahey, to then DANSO, and I think even before, the Sassy that we're looking at, like, there's a common theme amongst these centre-backs. There's definitely a common theme amongst them. But DANSO, definitely for me, from what I've heard of him, I can't say that I've watched Lens too much. I can't. I'm not going to do the fake thing. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But from what I've heard of him, he's one of the better options out of the people that we had identified. And he was also an option that, when you look at some of the other profiles of players that we have looked at, it makes sense because he's similar to like a Todibo, who West Ham did pick up last year. So it's one of those things. Spurs can be happy about the signing. I know one thing that people have pointed out is he's potentially a homegrown player. He had his academy career. He was started off playing. Who did he start playing? He started off playing in Milton Keynes, and he ended up at Southampton. He sort of bounced around a little bit at a few clubs before finding his home at Lens. But ultimately, with regards to his homegrown status, he does have a homegrown status for Tottenham. Not sure how that compares in the UEFA Europa League because they have a nation homegrown and then like a club trained homegrown. It's very weird the way they do it. So he's going to count towards a homegrown status, whether that's Premier League, Europa League, whatever. He's going to count within that. So he's going to slot straight in. But a new centre back has been signed by Spurs. And as I said to you guys, make sure you tap the post notification bell, like the video, subscribe to the channel because we're keeping you up to date with all of the Spurs transfer news. I will be having a video come out tomorrow morning to announce the actual finals, incomings, outgoings, and we're going to do an actual deadline day breakdown. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. And as you can see above me over here, road to 2K is in full effect. We're in the road to 2K right now, and I need you guys to support the channel, support us with the growth, and try help us to get there, because we're on like 1.2 right now. We're on like 1.2 and we're growing. We're close, but I need your support, your love. Make sure you hit me on the socials below. And yeah, man, Durag Diaries. It's another transfer update. We out.